somebody that's been getting some pretty high praise. Some really great videos are coming out is Brandon Aiyuk. And I think that he just did a press conference today or was answering questions where he talked about wanting to be more involved in the special teams game and returning punts. So it's looking that Aiyuk wants to take on a bigger role with the team. In my opinion, he's already wide receiver number one. I think he's a better pure receiver than Debo, even though Debo is one of my favorite players. But seeing what you've been seeing with the flashes we saw last year and, what he's bringing to training camp this season, how good do you think Aiyuk could be?
Man, I think Ayuk can be a bona fide top 8 receiver in this league for a long time, and have flashes, Pro Bowl, that type of stuff pretty regularly. I think the world of Ayuk. I think that he has the frame, he has the route running, he has the speed, he has the smarts, and Debo talked about it. The one thing that he had issues with is his initial break, getting off the press and getting off the line in a quick manner, and everything else was perfect. Well, Debo's praising him for picking that up. And that's one thing that Debo is fantastic at. Debo certainly is not the route runner Ayuk is, but if you put him one-on-one and you put him in a press situation off the line, he is getting off the line. And that's something that Ayuk needed to work on, and he's doing a good job of it right now. You get him a solid quarterback, I think this year he can go for 1,200 plus, and then after that, the sky's the limit.
Absolutely. And I think with young receivers, we've seen a lot transition and do really, really well. And I think Ayuk would have had an even better season last year if it weren't for some of the deficiencies with the 49ers. Obviously, with the quarterback play, he didn't really get a chance to play with the starter that many games because Jimmy G was in and out. And Nick Mullins and Beathard are just not starting caliber quarterbacks. But another key component to a rookie receiver or a young receiver having just an amazing year is having a really strong running game. And that was something also that wasn't there for the 49ers last season. This year, we're expecting both of those things to change, right? We expect Trey Lance to start, which means the QB play is going to be upgraded. And we expect the running game to be a lot stronger. Those two things make me believe that Ayuk is going to be set up to have a really breakout season, just like you said. And I think that Lance's ability to throw the ball down the field is going to open up things for Ayuk, and having just a very strong running game. I think the running game is going to be back in the top 3, and that play action I think is going to be nasty, man. And guys like Kittle, guys like Ayuk, I think are going to just eat because they could finally get a ball that's, passed in a bucket, 20, 30, 40 yards down the field where, they're running down there, last season without knowing that the ball's never going to get to them. Right. So I think you're just going to see more urgency, people that are actually fighting to go down the field because they actually expect that the ball might actually get there. Which is amazing because we haven't seen that with the 49ers, with Kyle Shanahan, knowing Kyle Shanahan did that a lot in Atlanta. So it's great if we could actually see that component to the offense as well.
Well, I'll say this, and I don't know if you're a fantasy football guy, but I'm just thinking about it in terms of that. If Lance starts, I would stay as far away from Kittle as possible. Kittle's fantastic. I think the best tight end in the league because he's such a great run blocker. He's so tenacious. He runs crisp routes. He had a little bit of a drop issue last year, but that's not normally him. And you get him the ball in open space, he's going to make people miss and punish people. That being said, the arm strength of Lance and his ability to move and keep his eyes downfield, a la Russell Wilson type, to where you put receivers in scrambled drill situations, I think both Debo and Ayuk will eat a ton. And of course, Kittle's going to get his, but he's going to have to make a lot of things happen, even more so after the catch in order to eat. He already doesn't get a lot of touchdowns. So listen, if Lance starts, I think those receivers become big, big problems for a lot of teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
And Kittle, don't be disappointed by any means, but he's not going to eat in the way that we're used to him eating.
For sure. And I'm glad you brought up fantasy. I am a big fantasy guy. I actually do a show Wednesday nights at 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern with my boy Casey. So definitely tune into that, guys, if you want to get some fantasy takes. Casey's really knowledgeable about that kind of stuff. So way to segue to a plug, my guy.